Okay. Okay, this is the New World Update 1.0.5 that's coming in today. And there's some good things that they're changing in here. So this week's update introduces more general changes and bug fixes. We'd like to thank you for your patience as our team continues to work on resolving issues and for your continued reports on our official forums. You can find a full list of changes and fixes below. General. Coin sellers. I hate these people. We know many of you have seen the pesky chat messages from players spamming messages, and we're continuing to investigate solutions to the issue. We discovered that many coin sellers were creating new characters and transferring money to other accounts. To combat this, we've banned and suspended many of the reported accounts. Thank you for your reports for players spamming chat. Added restrictions to prevent player-to-player trading and currency transfer from characters under level 10, or whose account is less than 24 hours... 24? I said 24. 72 hours old. Okay, so you can't trade when you're under level 10 or your account is under 72 hours old. That's a minor annoyance, but one way to prevent that. Logging in after your account is 72 hours old will enable your ability to trade and transfer currency once you hit level 10. Okay. Redistributed coin value from some early quests to later in the main story quest line, keeping the total amounts of coin earned the same, just delivering in quests slightly later. This doesn't really change anything for people who've already played. Trading post usage will be restricted until new characters accept the introduction to trading post quest in their first settlement. So in the beginning of the game, you have to go and click on the trading post, so you can't use it until you get to that quest. It's a little barrier of entry so that anyone trying to be a coin seller or bot, they actually have to go through a little extra stuff. They have to get to level 10. They got to do 72 hours old. They can still do it. It just takes more effort. We will monitor the impact this has on bots and the health of the game and continue to adjust as necessary. Exploits. I hate exploits. I'm not the exploiting type. When I find exploits, I report them and I do not use them, to benefit over other people or anything like that. I don't like exploits. I don't like it when people use exploits. So fixed a bug where players were able to duplicate items via storage sheds and crafting stations. We fixed the issue of gold duplicating on territory projects we introduced by disabling trading and made sure it would not occur in the future should we need to disable trading again. So apparently they created a new bug that I didn't know about because I don't try to do these things. Combat. Life Staff, Orb of Protection. Remove the small AoE that were triggering on pass-through from every hit of the base version of Orb of Protection. AoE no longer triggers on pass-through from the Aegis upgrade. It will only trigger on impact against the enemy / object now. That's good. Reduced attribute respec coin cost. So it's going to cost less to respec. Well, I doubt I'm going to get reimbursed for all the times that I've done this, but this is good news. I do respec from time to time. Now that I have the majority of my gear, I'm not going to be doing it too much, but as I start to trade out my Voidbent Gear for crafted 600 gear score armor that has the correct type of perks, then I'm going to have to respec a little bit, but that's going to be less often. Reduce weapon mastery respec Azoth cost by 75%. That's huge. Instead of 200 Azoth, it's going to cost 50. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Probably unnecessary at this point, now that we have Outpost Rush that allows us to get a ton of Azoth. So this is coming a little late, but it's good to have. Reduced coin cost of chisels by 20 to 50% depending on the tier. Again, don't really care. To encourage competition in Outpost Rush, we've slightly reduced the coin and Azoth rewards for the losing team. How about that? You used to get basically the same amount of coin and Azoth, whether you won or lost, it seemed like. So now this has been slightly reduced so that winning has additional value. So people are more interested in winning the war instead of just making it go quickly. We've surfaced the war conflict progress bars on the map and the faction board when there's an upcoming invasion, as you can still gain war conflict for your faction. One of the things that people were doing is when there was an upcoming invasion, they were hiding war conflict progress. They were doing a ton of quests during that period of time so that people didn't really know what was happening and they would sneak it in. And when the upcoming invasion finished, they would put the territory into conflict very quickly. So they're going to fix that so that you can keep an eye on that and it can't sneak up on you. Identical weapon equipping. Players can no longer equip the same weapon type in both weapon slots. There was something that people were doing, which was a combat exploit, where they were toggling back and forth between two fire staffs and spam attacking. So I think this is their answer to that. You can no longer equip the same weapon type in both weapon slots. They want each weapon slot to have a different weapon type to open up combat diversity. But it's also just feels like they're fixed to that situation. This change, boom. This change also addresses issues which could occur when swapping between weapons of the same type, which is like spamming your auto attacks with the fire staff, which did a lot of damage. No, go away. Group scaling passives. Fixed issues which could cause passive effects that scaled on the number of nearby foes, such as Bloodlust, Great Axe, Against All Odds, Hatchet, and Outnumbered Warhammer to apply incorrectly. So Bloodlust was basically these things were staying on even though you didn't have the thing that would normally trigger them. So Bloodlust would stay on when you would pass something, and then you'd have a constant 30% run speed and damage boost. You'd have additional damage boost for this, as well as Outnumbered, which basically this increases your damage based on how many people, and this increases your defensiveness, I believe, based on how many people are around you. And the stacks would stay. You just pass tons of things and you would get up to max stacks, even though you no longer had enough targets around you for it to be the case. So they're fixing this, which is good. Spell strike consistency. Fixed issues which caused several magic spells, such as Ice Storm and Gravity Well, to not hit consistently. Good, we need more consistency in the things that we're casting to cast correctly. Ooh. Resilient item perk. This is big. Fixed an issue that caused this perk to reduce all damage instead of just damage from critical hits. This is huge. So everyone's been requiring people to use Voidbent armor because they all have this resilient perk, and it was reducing all incoming damage. When it says that it's supposed to reduce damage on critical hits, it's been bugged. So everyone's been farming for the Voidbent. Voidbent value is going to go down. Voidbent value is going down. Sell your Voidbent stuff, guys, quick. Sell it. PvP flagging. Fixed an issue that allowed PvP and PvE players to heal each other. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Outpost Rush. Fixed an issue that was allowing players to get out of the starting fort before the match starts. That's buggy. I didn't know that. We now prevent multiple players from interacting with the altar in Outpost Rush. This will prevent players from getting multiple summon tokens per 500 Azoth, whatever. Fixed an issue that sometimes caused the nameplates of summon allies to appear hostile. It's so true. So true. So true. Sometimes you'd be in Outpost Rush and it's like there's a brute and it's red, but it's like, oh, well, this guy's clearly on my side. Fixed an issue that was causing Battle Bread, the food buff, to be twice as effective as intended. Updated the tooltip for Battle Bread and Monster Slayer's Stew to properly describe the buffs they provide. Fixed an issue that could cause players to become stuck in a teleport loop if they teleported out of Outpost Rush while using Unstuck. It's very unfortunate. I'm glad they're fixing these things. It's always good for things to be providing the correct amount of stats that they should. These Battle Bread and Monster Slayer's Stew, definitely something to look into when you're in those battles to get those buffs. I've been doing the Battle Bread myself. Fixed an issue that prevented some people from joining Outpost Rush because they had a pending group invite. I had this issue for days. I had this stupid pending group invite. It was like an event invite, and it just bugged me out, and I couldn't get involved with Outpost Rush. Repair kits should no longer require coin to use, thank goodness. Fixed an issue that sometimes caused players to use the wrong consumable when using consumables from the inventory screen. I didn't know about this. That's kind of strange. Glad they're fixing it. Fixed various issues with invasion status showing before the invasion was declared. Updated missing English text for on login pop-up explaining housing tax compensation. Fixed an issue allowing magic weapons to animation cancel their primary attacks with weapon swap or targeting spells, causing rate of fire to be faster than intended. Yep, the fast fire is going away. Fixed an issue that caused Ice Gauntlet upgrade Pylon Dodge to only work immediately after you place the Ice Pylon. Not an Ice Gauntlet user, but again, fixes are good. Fixed an issue that could cause a player to lose their house while offline during maintenance. In a future update, we will be reimbursing the players who encountered this issue. Exact details around the reimbursement will be in the corresponding update notes. I am so sorry to the people who lost their homes in a fire while there was maintenance occurring. I hope you can retrieve your items soon and get your homes back. That's very sad. Fix an issue with enemy AI duplicating and stacking spawns during the quest Shivering Timbers. Well, shiver me timbers. I'm so happy that is fixed. Fixed an issue that allowed players to initiate a server transfer if they were in the tutorial. It allowed players to initiate transfer if they were in the tutorial. Interesting. Fixed an issue causing the trading post to become unresponsive or delayed. I had these issues all the times where there was like nothing on the market, so I would just log off and log back in. I hope this is what they're referring to. It's not that big of an issue. I just log out and back in, but it's always good to fix things. Improves server performance when a large number of players congregate in settlements. I mean, I'm not surprised that there would be server performance when there's tons of people around, but good for you. Fixed an issue that caused some territory influence to not be properly recognized when lots of players turned in PvP missions simultaneously. Interesting. There were times when our group would turn in a bunch of missions and they're like, why did it barely move? Apparently this was occurring. So that's not going to be an issue anymore. That's good news. Fixed an issue causing some player titles to show as uninitialized. Fixed an issue where players could become stuck while fishing with lag. I wouldn't know. I don't fish. Fixed the UI notification for landing in a hotspot while fishing. Fixed a localization issue where bonus crafting percentages for tools were displaying as 0% for non-English languages. Fixed the time in Europe to properly account for the change. Fixed an issue preventing gear score to increase past 589 from drop rewards. I've gotten 595 drops. So, I don't know what they're talking about here. Speculative fixes. The fixes listed below are tentative fixes and mitigations. Our goal is to get these changes out and see if the issues persist, so we can continue to work on them and address in a future update if necessary. Implemented a change to help us dig into the timed out while waiting for server to describe world issue, and added a fix to reduce occurrences of this issue while we continue to investigate. There's a lot of big things in here. The biggest thing is this resilient change. In terms of the high-end players, that is probably the biggest change that I see occurring here. Fixing coin sellers is good. So the update 1.0.5, it's consequential. It's definitely going to affect things. They fixed a lot of things that were exploits. Hopefully they They're fixing the hatchet issue. It says magic weapons. So the hatchet is not a magic weapon. Hatchets are doing this animation cancel to do massive rate of fire, rate of attack, really. So I wonder if they're fixing that or if that's going to come in a later fix. But they're fixing some of the fire staff issues. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects gameplay. But that's all for this video, and I hope you were able to get the information you were looking for. All right, have a great day.